Now, everyone knows Gotham, the fictional city of Batman, but not many of us may be familiar with the village in Nottinghamshire, specifically Rushcliffe, which shares the same name. Rushcliffe is thought to mean cliff where the brushwood grows, and Gotham is thought to mean homestead of the goats. You might notice, however, it's spelled a little bit differently to the home of Batman. One of the most famous places in Gotham is St Lawrence's Church. Built in the 12th century, it has seen a few changes over the years. It was renovated in 1789, a new clock tower by Nottingham clockmaker Reuben Bosworth was added in 1848, and further repairs were done in 1869. Now, it's one of 5 churches, the largest of 5 churches, known as 453 churches, which get their name owing to their location in relation to the A453. 29 men from Gotham died in the First World War and 11 died in the Second, and there's a memorial to them inside the church. Some of the only surviving evidence of the Second World War is a pillbox that was built to defend against potential aircraft invasion. It is the only surviving one. The other one no longer exists, and it was built using scrap metal, and the damage done to it was actually done after the war had ended. They were called pillboxes because of their structural likeness to 19th century medicine boxes, and most were built in 1940 or 1941. Other prominent sites include the manor, which was built in the 1500s and then purchased by Nottingham Council and reopened as a museum in 1926. There's also the Well House, which was given to the public in 1862 by the first Earl Howe, then rescued by the people of Gotham in 1965, and then lovingly restored in 2016. There was also, surprisingly, a tornado here. At 5:50 p.m. on the 2nd of August 1984, in the midst of terrible weather in general, a tornado tore through the village, damaging nature, property, but thankfully, at least no one was hurt. This was only 3 years after a tornado outbreak that lasted for 5.5 hours battered the country. It was the largest in European history. At least 104 were recorded. Now, outside of Batman, one of the most famous things about Gotham is the story of the so-called wise men. The legend goes that here at the Cuckoo Bush Mound, men feigned insanity by trying to fence in a cuckoo using hedges, although they also apparently tried to do other things to appear crazy as well, including trying to drown an eel. Allegedly, this was done to try and stop King John from building a royal highway through the village in the 1200s, as the local people would have to maintain the road, and thus they feigned insanity, as insanity was believed to be contagious, and they thought by feigning insanity they would deter the king from coming through. The Cuckoo Bush Mound is actually a Neolithic burial mound that was excavated in 1847. The wise men of Gotham were actually referenced in a nursery rhyme that was published in Mother Goose's Melody in 1765, and the nursery rhyme goes, "The 3 wise men of Gotham, they went to sea in a bowl, and if the bowl had been stronger, my song would have been longer." Writer Washington Irving compared New York City to Gotham in 1807 because of this story, as it was associated with folly. Bill Finger named Gotham after a jeweller's, but Gotham exists in the Batman universe. In a 1996 comic, it was reported that Gotham City was named after the village Gotham because of the Wise Men legend. There is also Gotham in Wisconsin, with a small population of around 200. The name came from Captain Myron Wheeler Gotham, who once lived there.